Spiritual Teaching 227. Love each other. 1. Oh, beloved people, once again you have me listening to your prayer, in which you ask me to comfort you because you are going through harsh trials that make you shed tears. 2. I see prematurely folded wraps, temples grayed at an early age, children's faces aged. I do not see joy in heart, nor peace in the spirit of men. 3. You yourself, who are the chosen people, do not have perfect happiness, because you, before others, know that you live in a world of struggles, expiation and trials, that peace reigns in other valleys superior to this one, and that for climbing it is necessary to make merits. 4. I have granted this humanity small truces in the midst of its struggle, so that it may gain strength and rest for a moment in your journey. 5. In vain man seeks well-being, peace, dominion, and greatness in the land. Through the ages he has only found the stumbling block, the disappointment, the pain. 6. If he knew how to accept his destiny with humility and understood his condition of spirit endowed with strength and power, his fight would be different and his conquest, his high aspiration and his true triumphs real. 7. Do not believe for this that I say, that humanity of which you are a part is in an abyss. I take it a step towards the light, towards salvation, because all have been destined to dwell in my right hand, and I am their God. 8. This humanity is hungry and thirsty for knowledge and spirituality. Truly I tell you, that sin does not prevail, instead good will prevail, and peace will be established on earth. 7. Do not believe for this that I say, that humanity of which you are a part is in an abyss. I take it a step towards the light, towards salvation, because all have been destined to dwell in my right hand, and I am their God. 8. This humanity is hungry and thirsty for knowledge and spirituality. Truly I tell you, that sin does not prevail, instead good will prevail, and peace will be established on earth. 9. The spirit of men has been refined in pain, in trials, and now is the time to hear me, look at me, and understand me. 10. To many of you, my doctrine seems impossible to practice. It is because you have materialized and confused. But those of you who are humble, those who have allowed pain to polish you and have bowed your neck to me, and you desire to rise to the Father, you have believed the practice of my word possible and have looked with rejoicing on the first fruits of your sowing. 11. You come from different paths, but I do not distinguish you by classes, titles, or races. You are all gathered as disciples, forming a single congregation. I discover among you great spirits hidden in a poor and insignificant body and are not recognized because they are humble and lack enlightenment. But they love me, they testify to me, and they understand me. I want to form my new apostolate with all those who have believed in my word of this time, and prove to humanity that my doctrine is for all times, that my teaching is eternal. 12. In the second era I was not recognized by everyone. When I appeared in the bosom of the Jewish people, which was already waiting for me because they saw the signs given by the prophets fulfilled, my presence confused many who had not known to interpret the prophecies, and hoped to see their Messiah as a mighty prince who would strike down his enemies, who humbles the kings, the oppressors, and grant earthly possessions and goods to those who awaited him. 13. When that people contemplated Jesus, poor and without shoes, covering his body with a humble tunic. When he was born in a stable and after working as a humble craftsman, he could not believe that he was the one sent by the Father, the promised one. It was necessary for the Master to do prodigies and palpable works, so that they believe him and understand his divine message. 14. Truly I tell you, I not only descended to give sight to the blind, to cleanse the lepers, or to resurrect those who had died. My work was that of the God of all wisdom and eternity, who came in search of the dormant spirit of men, to raise them to true spiritual life. 15. Those wonders were only proofs that what I was doing, others could not do, and in that way move and call upon the spirits that had fallen into deep sleep. 16. Who recognized me at that time, the sinners whom I forgave, the hungry and thirsty for justice, those eager for truth, spirituality and eternity. 17. Who did not recognize me, the powerful, the theologians, the Pharisees, and for many who did not believe. My word was a cause of confusion. 18. Many said, what this man preaches is impossible to fulfill. But you know that the 12 followed me closely, and they learned from me, and to them I said, keep my teachings, practice and teach. I will soon leave, but I will never be far away. You will have me in your hearts, and you must continue to bear witness to me. What I have done with you, do it with your brothers. 19. And those people prepared by the prophets did not know how to understand me. But my seed was already sown and was carried by those 12 disciples to the nations and regions. And while the chosen people rejected, persecuted and judged them in their courts, in the pagan and Gentile nations they received my seed, and it was fruitful. 20. Pagan Rome received my disciples, and with them the seed of my doctrine. That nation fertilized by pain, jaded by pleasures, she embraced my teaching and was spiritually strong. From there new apostles emerged who led my doctrine to other peoples. 21. Those people who did not know how to follow me, who deemed it impossible to practice my teaching, where is it? I tell you again, earth is found divided into portions. Some magnified by earthly power moving the destinations of this world, others with me, witnessing my new manifestation, and others waiting for me incarnate once again. 22. You represent that people who followed me, made up of the sick, the sinners, the hungry for justice. 23. Today I have not only come to repeat my teaching of the second era, but to give you one more lesson to make you go a step forward. The seed that I sowed in you, I come to cultivate it and then collect the fruit. 24. Fill yourselves with spirituality and continue receiving my benefits so that you can bring to humanity the fruit of my teachings. Feel my presence. I come to you like a ray of light that becomes bread, consolation, and the caress to reach your heart. 25. I do not present myself as a judge to discover your faults in the eyes of your brothers. My word of love is what corrects and polishes hearts. 26. There is no one on earth who teaches my doctrine with the truth with which I revealed it. But there are those who have kept it hidden. That is why I have descended to this world under this form of communication, so that humanity can contemplate again the shining star, so that the castaways discover the saving basket. 27. I have come to inherit the outcasts. I have healed the sick and then made them doctors, so that they would show my power to the world, because before these facts, even the scientist himself will have to wake up, realizing the time in which he lives. 28. I am teaching you to bend your flesh, making it a submissive collaborator in your spiritual mission. But I am also teaching your spirit to detach from the body when it gazes at it tired, so that it will lift you like wings and be free from your chains. Work full of love in the spiritual valley, bringing back to your heart a message of hope and strength. 29. That is why I tell you that you will be the light of the world by being apostles of spiritualism. But take advantage of my stay among you, because 1950 is coming. I will stop speaking to you in this way, and I still do not see you ready. 30. My law and my word of this third era, with their revelations, their prophecies and their gifts, form the ark of the new alliance in which the spirit of humanity will be identified and united. But first it will have to be unknown and fought. 31. You will be the ones who defend the new tabernacle, the new soldiers of my cause who will not weaken in the fight because my presence and my word have strengthened you. 32. You will not hide yourselves in the days of trial, because it will not be fair that having come to give you my wisdom and power, go hide your gifts from those who need your charity. 33. See the Master once again surrounded by his disciples. I come to manifest myself in wisdom, and your spirit does shudder, because, having passed through the tests to which I have subjected him, he yearns to saturate himself with light and strengthen. It is a ray of my light that reaches the brain through which I communicate. It is an inspiration through which I send you my message. This is how I come to reveal the spiritual life to you. This is how I once again illuminate the path that Christ traced in his doctrine. 34. As you are listening to my word, within your being the light is being made, and the thirst for justice. Then your consciousness illuminates the way, and you are prepared to offer me acts that are according to my law of love. 35. As you approach me, you seek not only the health of the spirit, but also that of the flesh. And as you contemplate your effort, I am granting you benefits for one and the other, according to my will. 36. The Spirit is the part of your being whose life has no end. He has existed before your flesh. I have come to speak to the Spirit because it belongs to another world. However, I also speak to the flesh and caress it because having peace and tranquility in its heart, it will know how to receive me best. 37. When you worry too much about material needs, you distract your spirit and often push away their duties. 38. There are still those who listen to me and wonder, is it true that the Master is communicating through man, that God, being power, creation, comes to communicate through a brain unworthy of transmitting his greatness in a humble compound? And I tell you, do not contemplate the wealth or poverty of these enclosures to form an idea of your God. Is it necessary that you always have to seek the false splendor of the rights to believe in my presence? Do not forget the example of humility and material poverty that Jesus taught you, from the place of birth to place of expiration. There is the greatness of your Master in humility. The kingdom of God is based on the truly eternal, not on display of power. Understand my true greatness, humility, and mercy, so that you will not be surprised more that he comes to communicate to me by an understanding that you consider unworthy, in a place that is not important materially, nor judge the importance of this work by the small number of those who surround me today, because I have revealed to you. In time it will be fulfilled and will amaze the world. 42. When I come to communicate through human channels, I am not saying that this man is your God. I certainly can. I limit myself only so that you can receive me and listen to the essence of my word that is the same in all the spokesmen, although the form of expression changes. A single understanding is not enough to manifest how much I have to reveal to you. 43. In this simple way, I have come to give you my doctrine, so that you may find the path that leads your spirit to the peace and perfection to which he aspires. For this I advise you to strip yourself of vanities and bad inclinations. I teach you to love and impart charity to your brothers with true brotherhood and knowledge of your duties towards them. 44. I have taught you that your matter will disintegrate and that only your spirit will survive, which will rise after this life as far as his merits lead him. From there, he will continue to fight to rise higher and higher to get closer to the perfection which is approaching God. 45. To achieve this, I am teaching you how you should pray and seek me. And just as I am teaching you, I want you to teach to your brothers with true charity. 46. Just as I have not come to judge your imperfections, Neither do I want you to judge those of your brothers. 47. Show them only what I have taught you. Whoever is ready will be the one who understands you. 48. Sow. Although here you do not reap the harvest. 49. Analyze my word, my children, because in these last 3 years, when you will still listen to me, as beginners, you will become disciples. 50. You come along the perfect path that leads you to your Redeemer. And once again, as in times past, as Rael comes before mankind, you are in a position to know the spiritual life, and you are responsible for the law. 51. Rest and laziness have passed. You have risen to fulfill your mission, closing your hearts to the temptations of the world. 52. You are in a new reincarnation, that is, in a new body, so that your spirit concludes its destiny on earth and may come purifying to me, to receive what I have prepared for him in the hereafter. 53. You are the new disciples, those who, like those 12 of the second era, who were sometimes absent from the Master, to test the gifts and teachings received and later returned sad, because they had not shown miracles for their lack of faith or charity. 54. It was then that he taught them the parable of the mustard seed. When he told them that faith can move a mountain, they saw me raise the dead, free those possessed of troubled spirits. They saw me heal the incurable and save sinners. And after the Master left, they awakened to true faith in their gifts, to carry with perfection the doctrine they had learned and lovingly teach their brothers. 55. You too are now waiting for my departure, to get up to give the good news. 56. Analyze my word, learn from me, so that you may soon be the good apostle who gives witness to the Holy Spirit with his charities. 57. On top of the mountain I find myself. I am speaking to you from there and recording my words in your heart, hoping that you know how to make use of your free will, so that you renounce the vanities of the world and do consciously my will that is perfect. 58. Do not try to understand my word only with intelligence, ignoring the voice of your consciousness, in which the wisdom of the arcanum is manifested. 59. I have called sinners to turn them into virtuous beings. My mission as teacher is to teach continuously, until all the spirits have been perfected. Many of your brothers are ready to follow you, to imitate you, knowing that you are my disciples. Are you already prepared to receive me? Have you already learned from me? I tell you, only the fulfillment of your spiritual and material duties will qualify you to call yourselves my disciples. 60. If you work for the regeneration of humanity, you will come to contemplate the beginning of a new day and feel my peace. 61. My word teaches you, but does not oblige you. I have given you free will so that you feel owners of your actions and comply with the law by conviction, so that your merits are legitimate. 62. Once again the earth has been stained with blood. The war has overshadowed the spirit of humanity. The environment is laden with mourning, bitterness, and anxiety. And in the midst of that chaos, I have appeared, and I have become visible to some and others made to hear me. Of the pain that the world is rushing, my chalice is full. That is what you offer me at this time, and I agree. 63. My doctrine comes to make light in every spirit. I propose to you peace and harmony. Do not ignore my voice, that voice of a father who loves you. 64. Keep my word because 1950 is approaching, and it is my will that at that time my teachings remain printed to be food for your spirit. Then you will prepare to read them and you will remember these moments of happiness that you lived listening to me. 65. Fighters of the third era, who are giving my word, be tireless. You rush to be ready, for that moment is coming when I leave you without my word. Little by little you have become saturated with the strength that is in my doctrine. 66. Not all those who listened to me in the second era had faith in me. It has been necessary to return to the world, to give you new evidence. And in this time, not everyone who listened to me has believed me. The flesh, like a thick veil, prevents the spirit from receiving the divine light. But that veil vanishes when analyzing my lessons, to give way to the impulses of the spirit to free itself of materialism and to approach its creator. If some of you listening to me have not felt this elevation in your being, I tell you, the time will come when you will contemplate that light. Others listening to me with faith have not reached the knowledge of spiritual revelations because they have lacked preparation to understand the teaching. 67. If many beings in the world have stagnated in their evolution, it is because they are confused in the idolatry of their belief. They cannot conceive lofty ideas because they have limited their spiritual capacity. In my work, you have felt that the superior approaches you to surround you with an atmosphere of peace. Of that peace even your matter has participated, since it is also a creature of the Lord, made with perfection. Perfect is both the spiritual and the material. Thus you can contemplate, even in the atom and in the cell, manifested the divine omnipotence. And if you study the spirit, you will discover in it its simple nature as the atom of a higher life. Then you will see that nothing exists that is detached from the divine. 68. Everything in my creation is movement, harmony, and order that lead to perfection, so that man can wake up and the voice of his consciousness takes him to reality. He must not look at creation only in its appearance, not knowing its essence. The man without faith in the spiritual life falls into materialism, because he contemplates that the life of this world as the only life. But if he becomes bored with his pleasures or despairs in his bitterness, what will happen to him? Some will lose their mental balance. Others will attempt to end their existence. 69. Not all men are at the same level of understanding. While some marvel at each step, others contemplate everything imperfect. While some dream of peace as the pinnacle of spirituality and the moral of the world, others proclaim that it is wars that make men evolve. 70. About this I tell you, wars are not necessary for the evolution of the world. If men use them for their ambitious and selfish ends, it is because of the state of material of those who promote them. And among them there are those who believe in the existence in this world only, since they ignore ordinary spiritual life and are considered wise among humanity. That is why this revelation must be known to all. 71. Those who in their religious fanaticism only wait in the hereafter for the punishment of hell, while they shelter that belief, they will forge their own hell, because the disturbance of the spirit is similar to that of the human mind, although more powerful. You ask, Master, is there salvation for them? And I tell you, there is salvation for all. But peace and light will not come to that spirit until the darkness of trouble is removed. Have you felt or do you ever pity a man whose lost reason makes you contemplate what does not exist? How much greater would be your pain if you contemplate in the hereafter those troubled beings who are looking at their imaginary hell? 72. Whoever has a notion of what bodily death and true atonement is, who would be able to attract the confusion in that supreme hour? 73. My doctrine of perfect love and wisdom is not only from this time, nor does it date from the second age. In all times I have told you about these lessons, but the wrong interpretation of the revelations is what has made man fall into fanaticism and confusion. 74. When the pain of materialism itself becomes unbearable for the troubled spirit, that pain will awaken the soul with light, and then he will deeply regret his mistake. 75. Teach my doctrine before your brothers, so that the desire to seek a world may be born in men of perfection, where the spirits when perfect reach the bosom of the Father. 76. I am the light that comes to unite you all in me. To give you this word, I am using one of you, as unworthy as all. This is my love and my charity. 77. The year 1950 is approaching, and at the end of it I will bid you my goodbye. There will be pain and you will need my word, but it will be printed, and there they will all find the Master's lessons. Then you will say, how sweet was his teaching. For that time, I will prepare understandings and lips that speak to you by inspiration. Others will read my lessons and you will feel again the essence that you received when I manifested myself. So I will be among you, in your spirit and understanding, in the midst of harmony and brotherhood. 78. I have given you all more light for your life. If in each step you find a form, because the path of man is painful, pray, and your faith will sustain your longing for eternal life. My peace be with you.